Hi everyone, so today we're going to be going through the 2022 Senate forecast. This was a viewer suggested video once again, and so how I'm going to do this, I'm using the all Senate seat open, map, and so I've already filled in the 2018 results. These won't be up in until 2024, and so this was the 2018 results, and these are all, I believe, Class 3 Senate seats. No, they are all Class 1 Senate seats, so all these Class 1 Senate seats not up again until 2024, and so I've filled them in using the little bubbles next to the state. Now we're going to go through my 2020 forecast because without that we don't know how the different things will work. But my 2020 forecast, this right now is my current 2020 forecast. So how we're going to do it is we're going to fill in the this area of the state, not the bubble, and then with the remaining area we're going to fill in what's going to happen in 2022. Okay, so Oregon moves into the Democratic column. Arizona, even though we're going to move that one also into the Democratic column, that's my current forecast. Now in Colorado and New Mexico, these also move into the Democratic column, and then moving into North Carolina and Virginia, also moving into the Democratic column. Whoops, that's the 2018 results. Minnesota, Illinois, and Michigan, also these Rust Belt states, also moving into the Democratic column. Minnesota, Michigan, and what's the other state that I had? Illinois. There we go. Okay, and then New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Hang on, is Rhode Island up? Yes, Rhode Island is up. Connecticut's not, but New Jersey and Delaware are. So now that we've done those Democratic states, moving into the Republican states, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana all have. I predict that these Republicans get re-elected all throughout the Red Wall, except North Dakota, which is not up until 2022. Arizona and Louisiana and Mississippi, that trio of southern states, and then Alabama and Georgia and South Carolina, then into the state of Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and I believe that is it. Oh, and the state of Maine, which moves into the GOP column. I believe that is it, and obviously Alaska. Okay, so now with the remaining thing, either it's going to be a bubble inside the state or the state at large. We're going to go through the 2022 forecast that I'm going to do. So even though in 2020 I think that the Democrats will flip that seat, actually the seat is up again in 2022, and then after that they get a full 6 years. That's just how it works. So 36 Democrats, 30 Republicans. We're going to fill in all the remaining, states, and then we'll have a final forecast for my 2022 election prediction. So, again, this was a viewer-suggested video. So, moving into here, we're going to so here going into we're going to start off. Again, these are class 3 Senate seats that are up. So the Richard Shelby race, obviously moving into the Republican column with Richard Shelby, goes into the Republican column in Alabama. In the state of South Carolina, this one also goes into the GOP column. In 2022, I believe Marco Rubio will be up in Florida. I mean, he's probably going to retire. He was going to retire in 2016, but if he doesn't, then he wins. If he does, if he does not retire, then I think it could get interesting. But if he does retire, so I keep messing this up. If he does retire, if he does not run again, I think it could get interesting. But if he continues to run, I think that he will hold on. And so Florida moves into the Republican column. In the state of Missouri, Josh Hawley will not be up. It's the other Republican there, so the Republicans win in the state of Missouri. Same thing in Utah and Idaho. Both of those seats moving into the Republican corner. In the state of North Dakota, this one moves into the GOP corner. And in the state of South Dakota, this one also moves into the GOP corner. Chuck Grassley, I mean, he's been in there forever, but he seems to continuously win, even with his bad approval rating. Chuck Grassley, we see narrowly holding on in the state of Iowa. In the state of Kansas, let me check. Kansas, I believe. Kansas. Yeah, Jerry Morgan, I've never even heard of him. But it would probably go into the Republican column again. Same thing with Oklahoma. This state had the senator who tried to disprove global warming and climate change by bringing a snowball in. And so, that's going to get interesting. Now for some Democratic states. Michael Bennet we see holding on in Colorado. Even though the Democrat did win in 2020, we see them winning again in 2022. We think that Catherine Cortez Masto would hold on in Nevada. Kamala Harris wins in California. I forgot who's the incumbent in Washington. That incumbent is I believe would be where is it? Washington. Maria Cantwell would take that one. So yeah, Maria Cantwell there. Okay. Sorry, not Maria Cantwell, the other one, Patty Murray. I'm very sorry. So right now, 41 Democrats, 41 Republicans. We see the Democrat once again winning in the state of Oregon. We don't see that being all that difficult for a Democrat to win in Oregon. We see Chuck Schumer winning again in New York. We see, what's the other Vermont senator? Not Bernie Sanders, but Patrick Leahy. We see him winning again in the state of Vermont. In the state of Connecticut, we see the Democrat winning there once again. The state of Maryland, the Democrats win, obviously, in the state of Maryland. We see the Democrats picking up Wisconsin, this one, then picking up the Ron Johnson seat. We also see them taking the state of Pennsylvania, and obviously in the state of Illinois, they would win in the state of Illinois. Now, in a midterm election, I think that North Carolina could get very close, and I do actually think that North Carolina could narrowly go into the Democratic corner. Now, as for some of these other states, we see our Arkansas moving into the Republican corner, Louisiana, and narrowly Georgia, with what's his name, the that senator. We see him hanging on. Indiana moves into the Republican column. I don't know why Ohio Sherrod Brown won in the midterms, and then we see the other Republican also hanging on. And then Hawaii moves the Democrats over the line. Alaska moves into the Republican corner. And there's one more state I'm missing, the state of Kentucky. The state of Kentucky, Ron Paul we see hanging on in Kentucky. So, final forecast, 52 Democrats, 48 Republicans for the 2022 midterms. Obviously, that can change with the 2020 election and other vacancies filling out. So, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed this video.